I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so thankful you took the time and wanted to quilt with me. We are working on our Super Bloom block of the month. And oh, the blocks are coming so nice together. We are working on our block number 8, almost to the end of the journey. Total blocks, we had 9 blocks. So one more time, I get to show you how to do the block. But let's don't rush to next month. Let's finish this month. So block number 8, I went and rotate the quilt on a wall so that way you can see our block number 8 so nice. And also, this is what it's so nice about this quilt. You can rotate anywhere when you hang it on a wall or put it on your bed. It is beautiful. And this quilt fits perfectly on the top of the bed. You can add additional borders if you would like to, if you're making your quilt a little bit bigger. But for now, let's still focus on block number 8, all of the applique, how to put your blocks together, all of that. We're going to talk about that next month after we finish our last block. So for now, like I said, block number 8, this block is made with beautiful half square triangles right here. Oh, so cute. Little 4 patches for the corners. They're so sweet. A big, beautiful square for the center and flying geeses. One in a dark and one in a light with dark triangles. So those flying geeses are on each side, making that beautiful square around the square of the center. Let's start with what we have in our quilting basket. I have my block. Many of you have received the block already. This is block number 8. All my pieces are pre-cut for me. I'm using the pre-cut kit, and we still have few of those kits available. If you think about it and you're just joining us in, this is perfect Christmas present for yourself. You would love the pre-cut blocks. Some of our girls are cutting their own fabrics, and this is the fabrics that you need for this block. Make sure you follow the directions in a pattern. And speaking of the pattern, there it is, and this is what I'm going to use. I already pulled the page with block number 8 and put it in front of me so I can work from that. So first thing, I'm gonna start with the smallest little unit right here, a little 4 patch. I have 2 light pieces, 1 red and 1 blue. Look at this, how sweet. I'm going to take those pieces, place them right sides together, those little squares, and sew it using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Oh, how wonderful. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Finish it up. You can make a little chain. You're gonna need 4 sets of 2, so total 8 little units like this, because you have 4 of them in each corner and you need 2 for each of them. As soon as you finish, you're gonna go ahead, clip them apart and open it up. We're gonna push the seam allowance towards the dark. This little tool is perfect to press those seams and don't overpress it. I'm gonna do the same thing with the red little square. Push my seam allowance towards the red. Look at it. Now I'm gonna go ahead, rotate this way, place those right sides together, lock that seam, take my pin, put that pin right in the middle. And you know what I like to do? Notice it. I have my seam right here. I put my pin right below that seam. So that way, when the machine I start sewing, it pushes it down and it locks it really nice right here. As soon as you finish, your unit is going to look like this. See, finish sewing. You're gonna go ahead, open it up, and in the back, I'm gonna pull this apart and make sure I open the little center. I'm gonna make 4 little 4 patches just like this. As soon as you finish, you're gonna go ahead, grab a ruler, place it right over, and if needed, you're gonna square things up. Remember, number 1 thing, if you want your results to be wonderful, square things up. Always trim it, press it beautifully, but trimming and squaring things up, setting yourself for the next step to be successful, That's the way to go. And by the way, I'm sewing using Macrotex needle, just like this one, Macrotex needle 70. I'm using 23 turn Aurifil thread, and I'm using a little shy 1/4 inch seam allowance, especially with the pre-cut pieces, because I don't have much to trim it and square things up. So I'm using a shy 1/4 inch seam allowance. That gives me an exact everything that I need. Next unit that we're going to make is going to be our half square triangle unit. This is the unit right here. I'm gonna have a light half square triangle and a dark one. This will go right here in these corners, and I need a total 8 half square triangles. I'm going to place the two pieces right sides together, two triangle half square triangle right sides together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm gonna beautifully stitch. Look at this, I finished it up. And again, you can use chain sewing technique and make 8 little half square triangle. I'm gonna open it up and press it, and again with this little tiny tool, look how nice it stays, beautifully pressed. Then I'm gonna go ahead and clip the bunny ears just like this, beautiful. If needed, grab your ruler, rotary, square it up, and you're gonna make 8 of those half square triangle. As soon as you finish, you're going to lay out the next unit for this area of the block right here. Oh, how wonderful. And for this unit, we need, and I have to look at that, I'm gonna follow the layout on this one, and I'm gonna follow my layout in the pattern. I have my half square triangles. The dark goes towards each other, perfect. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I need my little red, and I'm gonna place my red right there. The red indicate where I'm going to put it, the blue towards the outside. See how nice? So I have my triangle, my 4 patch, and a little square that was just a solid square pre-cut for me from my little kit. Now I'm gonna sew this to this and this to this, just like this, placing right sides together, beautiful. Place it right side together, wonderful. Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm so excited. So right there, I have my unit sewn. Look, I'm pushing my seam allowance towards the light, push my seam allowance towards the light, push my seam allowance towards the 4 patch, and now those seams beautifully lock. Do you see how nice it locks? This is great. I'm gonna grab a pin, place my pin right here again next to that seam. This is gonna be wonderful, and I'm gonna stitch straight down, making sure that nothing shifts, because I want a nice transition and a beautiful point right here that everything matched up. As soon as you finish, you're gonna go ahead. Did you see what I did? I stitched it, and then I'm gonna open that center just like I did it right here, and now press it. Wonderful. You're gonna repeat this 4 times because you need 4 of them for each corner of your block. See how this look? Each corner of your block. So we need 4 of those units. Next unit that we're going to make is our flying geese unit, and I'm going to need a beautiful 1/4 square triangle in light, 2 pink half square triangles just like this, and I'm going to go ahead, place this right sides together, zoom, 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 sew it, flip it open. I'm gonna push my seam allowance towards the light, follow the arrows in the pattern, then do this other side. Let me show you. I have this one done. I push my seam allowance. Now I'm gonna go ahead, this one I already sewed it, I'm gonna go ahead, clip this bunny ear right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Open this up nicely. Oh, all the seam allowance are going towards the flying geese just like this. This is gonna be wonderful. I want to have a nice smooth seam right here because later on I'm gonna be sewing this together. So with my next flying geese, as soon as you finish, you want to go ahead, press it, square it up, grab your ruler, put it right over. And I want to show you something. When I'm squaring things up, I'm always paying attention to this line as well as my outside line, but especially I want to make sure that there is 45-degree line that gives me a perfect angles. Trim it. Super. I have one done. Now the second color option that I'm going to be working from, it's pink quarter square triangle, 2 light half square triangles, and the same, we're going to place it right sides together, just like this, sew it, flip it open, push my seam allowance towards my pink, do the same thing on this side. Let me show you. I have one here halfway done. Remember, we're gonna go ahead, trim that bunny ear. Now you are a pro at this. I'm so proud of you. You are doing so well. And why did I separate and did first my light one, then my pink one? So I didn't get mixed up. I want to pay attention. Finish 4. Everything looks wonderful. Open the seam or push that seam towards that pink, press it, then beautifully square things up. Look how nice this look. And now, following my pattern, I'm gonna place the pink flying geese up and the light flying geese up just like this, and I'm gonna go ahead, place the right sides together, super, and go ahead and sew it. And I like to sew on this side where I can see it right there, where there's that little line where I would not go ahead and sew over this point because I want my point to be beautiful. Look at this. My point needs to be beautiful so that way it's just perfect. Look at this. Oh, I pressed it, pushed the seam allowance down, or you can push it up. It's up to you, or you could push it open if you would like. And maybe next time try that. Oh, actually, it looks really nice when I open. So either way, I'm not gonna argue with you on that one because this one is really up to you. What works for you. I'm so thrilled. So push it open, and as soon as you finish one, you're gonna go ahead and assemble all 3 remaining for a total of 4 flying geese units. Are we just flying through this block or what? Now it's time to lay out our beautiful block. Let me do that for you. I'm gonna move some things out of my way. I'm so excited. Block number 8. You only have to do 1 boa block and you're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful quilt. And I just want to take a minute and thank you so much for taking the time and doing this quilt with us. Can you imagine we meet up 9 months, almost next month is gonna be. We met every month and got excited about doing the Super Bloom block of the month. I bet you're thinking, what's next? What other block of the month we could do it? Oh, do I have a nice surprise for you? Be patient. We're gonna announce it in December. When we finishing this block, we're gonna announce the next block of the month, and I hope you join us in. I have beautiful things planned for you for next year, and I am so looking forward to quilt with you. But for now, look at this. We just finished lining up all the blocks. Oh, this is wonderful. And all the units for this block, look at that. We have the corner units with the little 4 patches blue go towards the center. We lined up dark square for the center. We have our flying geese units. Super. We're going to sew this and this and this and this. We're gonna have 3 row. Row 1, 2, and 3. And you're gonna go ahead and take this piece, place it right sides together. You're gonna make sure you put a pin right here, sew it straight down, press it open just like this. Seam allowances going to be pushed towards the outside, and you're gonna push the seam allowance towards the inside, towards the outside. Then you go ahead, sew this to this, this to this, and in no time you're gonna have a beautiful block number 8. As soon as you finish your block, 1 more month, like I said, and you just have 1 more block to do it, and we're ready for the next step, putting the blocks all together. Look how beautiful this block looks. Isn't that nice? Thank you so much for stopping by and quilting with us. Please don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website at laundrybasketquilts.com. And I am so thankful that you decide to quilt with me. Happy quilting, and I hope to see you next week.